I've been back from my last thru hike for about a month and I'm itching to go on another one. In about a week, I'm going to do it. And this time, it's going to be big miles, which means I need to have a lighter pack. In fact, I've dropped 6 pounds in pack weight from my last trip. How did I do it? Where am I going? Stay tuned and find out. I'm going back to the Centennial Trail, one of my favorite trails. 125 miles through the Black Hills by Mount Rushmore, Custer State Park. It's 8.5 hours away from my house and it feels like I am hiking out west. Colorado's 16 miles away. This is half as far and I like it almost as much. So I am going to be doing all 125 miles of the Centennial Trail in what I'm calling 4 days. It's actually 3 full days and 2 half days. So that means that I'm going to be covering miles of up to about 30 miles a day, which if you watched my Ozark Trail thru hike, I did cover, 25 miles or so per day there, but the terrain there is much flatter and easier. So this is going to be much more challenging. And why am I doing it in 5 days? Well, I'm going out there with my buddy Rob Pelton and one of his friends, and they are going to be completing their section hike of the trail, which is about 80 miles. So I'm going to drop them off at a place called Semelius Peak. I'm going to drive up to the northern terminus of Bear Butte, park his car, walk the 125 miles down south, and then he's going to come pick me up. So he only has 5 days off from work, so we have a limited time to do this. So I thought this is a good chance to go thru hike again, one of my most favorite trails. So like I said, I dropped 6 pounds from my thru hike about a month ago. And I'm going to go through here and I'm going to point out the areas where I saved weight a little bit. The first thing I want to point out to you is my Brooks Cascadia 16s. These are new shoes. The Brooks Cascadias aren't new. I've had like 5 or 6 pairs of these. I love them. They're just new shoes because other ones were worn out and I got a different color. Under that, I'm going to be wearing my Injinji merino wool toe socks. These do great for preventing blisters. Over the top of that, I have some new Darn Tough, real low socks, merino wool. I got these through Darn Tough's warranty program where I wore out a couple pairs of socks, mailed them in, and they mailed me some new ones. I got a new pair of shorts. These again are my Patagonia 5-inch running shorts, same as the black ones I had, but they had these on clearance because they're this blue color for half price, so I picked up a new pair. Over that I have Smart Wool, merino wool, short sleeve shirt with a hood on it. I cut the sleeves off. It's good for sun protection. Over the top of that, I have Alpaca Gear Company Alpaca hoodie. I just did a full review of this video, of this shirt, and I did a video on it, and you can see that. I'll put a link in the cards. Going up on my head, I have my Under Armour dry fit hat. I'm going to be carrying my Brooks Cascadia. These are carbon fiber trekking poles that you can find on Amazon. I also know you can find these now at Costco. I'm not including this in my pack weight. I have the Light AF fanny pack, and I'm not including it in my pack weight because it's not connected to my pack at all. So all you people that are gonna be harsh and criticize that, oh, that's not in your base weight, that you need to include that in your base weight. I'm not talking about base weight. I'm talking about pack weight, and I wanted to get my pack weight down. For you nerds, this fanny pack weighs about a pound. Okay. In there, I'm going to keep my iPhone, and it has my camera mount on here. So when I want to put it on a tripod, I just screw it right on there. And that's in this mesh front pocket of the fanny pack. I just love this fanny pack. It's perfect for that. This light AF, it's the XL fanny pack, and it's made out of the Ultra 200 material. I love Ultra 200, which is also what this backpack is made out of. One of the ways that I'm saving weight this time is typically I travel with this big tripod that extends out to be about 4 feet tall. It's metal. It has this head on there. This whole thing weighs a little over a pound, and I usually bring as a backup this small little UltraPod tripod. Not bringing either one of those. My backpack, I took off the big holster that I have that my friend Miyagi made for that bigger tripod. And I am just bringing the UltraPod 3, which it's bigger than that smaller UltraPod. So it's a little bit more stable and it's a lot lighter. So I'm saving about 10, 11 ounces by using this thing. This bigger UltraPod also has a longer Velcro strap. So a lot of times when I use a little tripod like this, I can get it up higher if I find a tree and I Velcro it around there. But I'm saving a little bit of weight. Also by having this in my fanny pack, it's not on my shoulders. I have starting out with a bag of trail mix. I also have some of these salt sticks, which are basically electrolyte replacements. I keep those in there, so when I start sweating, I don't have to take off my pack and grab it. The back of this fanny pack has a pocket in it. In that pocket, I'll keep my wallet, and I also always keep a wet wipe just in case I need to go to the bathroom very quickly. All right, let's dive into what is in my pack. So I mentioned pack weight. If you want to talk about base weight, which honestly, it's probably not a true base weight, but my base weight's about 12 pounds, which is your pack minus your food, water, and fuel. With my food, water, and fuel, it weighs a little over 18 pounds. So my pack, I should mention, is the Waymark EVLV. It's a 38 liter, and it's made out of that Ultra 200 fabric that I love so much. This pack weighs nearly nothing and is super light. By changing to this pack over the Thru backpack, which is framed from Waymark, I'm saving about 2 pounds. So this does not have a frame on it. And in order for this thing to be comfortable, you need to be under 20 pounds. So I've got down to 18 pounds. I'm not bringing my detachable hip belt this time. And I'm going to try to make it those 4 days and the 125 miles with this frameless pack without the hip belt. Okay, so what's on here? Let's start on my shoulder straps. I always go with my Garmin InReach Mini for safety. My wife tracks my progress. It has an SOS button. You do have to pay about 25 bucks a month to service this thing, but it's well worth the safety and just keeping my wife relaxed. On that same shoulder strap, I have my Knox Gear 39G Bluetooth speaker. So I'm going to be hiking all alone, and I don't see a whole lot of people out on the trail. I listen to music every morning on this. I put some podcasts on there. It keeps my brain activated so I don't get bored, and it just keeps me entertained. It's kind of like going on a road trip. In your car, you're not going to drive for a week without listening to the radio, right? That's what I'm doing here. So like I said, I took off that holster for my tripod, but I added on here a second water pouch pocket here from Waymark. I have the same thing on this side. There isn't anything in here right now, but this thing only weighs a couple grams, and I may end up shoving my tripod in there, or I can put snacks in there. I just thought it would be nice to have that second pocket. So over here on the other shoulder strap, all I have is that pocket, and I have a 750 milliliter water bottle that will be full of water when I start. On the side pocket over here, I have a 1 liter Smart Water bottle. I'm going to start with this thing empty. About 14 miles in, there will be a water source, and I'll fill up with water. I don't think that I will have this thing full of water, hardly ever, but I learned on my Ozark Trail through hike that it would be nice to have a little bit more water capacity. So if I'm filling up with water, say an hour or two before I'm going to camp, I can carry that extra water and set up my hammock wherever I want to camp, and it doesn't need to be next to water, and I'll have plenty of water for camping and for the next morning. So I have a little bit of extra water there. Also on the side pocket, I have this white bag here. It's a bag I made myself, do it yourself, out of the Ultra 200. This has the spreader bars for my hammock. It has the pull-out bars for my tarp. It has 5 MSR mini Groundhog stakes, and it has a couple lines for the doors of my tarp. Flipping around to the other side pocket, all that's in here is my Toaks titanium, I think it's a 550 milliliter pot. Inside of there it has my stove, it has matches and a lighter, and it has the fuel tank all in there. Okay, let's go to the front pocket, which is located on your back. I have a 200 milliliter CNOC water bag for filtering water. Now I could carry extra water in this, but it's really a pain. So I'm just bringing that little bit bigger water bottle, and I'm going to carry my extra water that way. All right, I have a small microfiber rag here that I can use for washing my face, wiping down wet gear like my tarp in the morning. I have the Sawyer water filter. This is the Squeeze. I bought a brand new one because the other one wasn't very clean and had it a long time, and it may have froze, so it was only like 30 bucks, so I figured it's time for a new one. What else do I have in here? Any guesses? All right, I got my rain gear. I have some REI rain mittens. When it's cold out, as most of you know, I get cold hands. These work good in the rain. I have some other gloves that'll go underneath that you'll see in a minute. This is my Enlightened Equipment Visp raincoat. Super ultra lightweight. It has pit zips. It works real well, even though it is very expensive. Okay, I have some glasses that I need to use when I read, mainly at camp when I'm looking at my phone, planning out the next day, reviewing my video. REI rain pants, a little bit heavier than that Visp, but I like having the cheaper, heavier rain pants that can take a little abuse. That is all that is in the front pocket. So let's move inside. You can see on top, I have my Doritos bag, and gotta save the battery. Okay, so I would have enough room in this backpack to put that Doritos bag in if I really wanted to. I probably, like I said, this is a 38 liter. I could probably get by with a 35 liter backpack. But I'm going to keep it on the outside because that way I remember it's on there and I don't crush it before I start backpacking in the car, and I'll be gentle with it. This is the rest of my food for the trip. This is the food that is going to be in my food bag when I start my hike. You saw my Doritos on the top. Inside my food bag I have 2-gallon Ziploc bags, one for garbage, one for my Doritos once they're open. Also in there I have a little sack here with some line for hanging my food bag at night. I have a little knife, and I have my long-handled spork. Let's get into the food. So the first day, I'm not going to be hitting the trail until a little before lunchtime. So I'm going to be all full of food. I'm going to pig out before I start the trail. I'm going to be all hydrated well. So I don't need any breakfast that day. I'm not sure how much lunch I'll need, but my lunches will be the Doritos. So the Doritos usually last me at least 3 lunches, and I usually eat some at night. And with those Doritos at lunch, I have some beef sticks here from Simms that I buy at Aldi. There are 12 in a package. I eat 4 with each lunch. 4 beef sticks, a bunch of Doritos. It usually fills me up along with the snacks. I have snacks packed. That first day I usually eat some cookies either from a gas station or these grandma ones. Kind of eating real well. These don't pack down real well, so get rid of them that first day. That first night I'll have biscuits and gravy for dinner from Peak Refuel. And I always have my king size candy bar, this time a Snickers for night, for kind of the after dinner treat. Okay, each morning I have these Hostess strudel cinnamon, they taste like little donuts. Usually I have 2. This trip I'm packing 3. Going to be putting in lots of miles, want those extra calories. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12 because I have 4 breakfasts. That second day I have some of these Peak Refuel freeze-dried peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. They're really good. This package is bigger than it looks. I have a couple extra snacks just in case. So on this trip, I mentioned I'm going to be stopping twice. I'm going to stop in the town of Nemo, which is about a half a mile off a trail. There's a convenience store there, and there is a restaurant that's going to be opening up just a few days before I get there. I'm going to double check on that. If so, I'm going to eat a real dinner at that restaurant, hop back on trail, have my dinner covered for that night. While I'm at that convenience store, I'm going to buy some snacks, some lunch, and you can see here I did this spreadsheet showing you how many miles I plan to hike each day. Down below there you see in black that I have what groceries I'm buying before I go. And then in a different color I have what groceries I plan to buy when I'm in Nemo. And then I'm going to keep on hiking. That third day I have my breakfast here. I have some chili mac with beef here for my dinner from Peak Refuel. Go to dinner that night. I'm going to have my late night candy bar that I'm buying in Nemo. And then I'm going to start hiking the 4th day. I have my breakfast here. I have some food from Nemo that I'm having for my snacks and for my lunch. And then on that 4th day, I'm hoping to get to Legion Lake Lodge. We ate there last year when we hiked through. Really good food. It's right on trail. The problem is that store and that restaurant closes at 5 p.m. this time of year. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that many miles. If I can't make it to there, I'm going to stop at Mount Rushmore, which is about a mile and a half off trail up this big ass hill. Of course, I get to see Mount Rushmore, but I've seen that plenty of times. But they have cheeseburgers, they have ice cream, they have a gift shop where I can get some snacks and some treats. And I can load up if I don't think I'm going to get to Legion Lake Lodge. Camp out, day 4. Day 5, all I have is breakfast here. And I'm probably going to have some leftover snacks and treats that I'm going to be buying either at Legion Lake Lodge or Mount Rushmore. So I don't have to carry all of that food the whole time. Let's go back into the pack. So this is my ditty bag. A ditty bag is what we call just the little bag where you put all those little extra things that you think that you may need, but you don't have a really good spot for it. In here, quickly, I have some more wet wipes, an extra lighter, a little thing of Body Collide in case I chafe, some allergy pills. Last time I was on the Centennial Trail, I got itchy legs, thought I may have had poison ivy. I didn't, but these really helped out for something like that. An extra water bottle cap for my smart water bottles, chapstick with some Luca tape on there. Luca tape is perfect if you're getting hot spots to put on your toes to help with blisters. I have a mini carabiner, another really mini small S-beaner. I'm not planning on building a fire, but I have a couple Vaseline and the makeup remover fire starters. Some Tums tabs in case I get an upset stomach. I have an extra of this peg that I use when I hang my food, PCT style, so I don't have to use a stick. And this is an extra one. It's titanium, super light. Extra matches and a lighter. Ooh, I have 2 extra lighters here. I just saved another 5 grams. Okay, so that is everything inside of the ditty bag. On this trip, I am bringing my hammock like I mentioned. I could get down probably not even a pound less if I switched over to my Zpacks Dyneema Duplex tent. And I sleep a lot better in my hammock. Both it's more comfortable, plus I like having my hammock because it's a lot easier to set up and tear down in the rain. Why is that? Because the tarp, I should mention, this is the Warbonnet Ridgerunner bridge tent. So, bridge hammock. So the bridge hammock has the spreader bars, which make it even heavier. My spreader bars are titanium that I ordered from a different company, so it makes it a little bit lighter. But setting up in the rain, my hammock, my quilts, everything is underneath my tarp. So I am using the Warbonnet Thunderfly tarp. And if you're not familiar with hammocks, if it's raining out, you get to camp, you set up your tarp, you go underneath your tarp, you open up your backpack even farther, you set everything up underneath your tarp and nothing gets wet. In reverse, in the morning, you get everything packed up in your backpack, and then you take down your tarp, and the only thing that's wet is your tarp underneath there. So I love my Warbonnet Ridgerunner bridge hammock. These are custom-made bags that I made myself, again out of that Ultra 200 fabric that I love. And I like having them white just for the contrast, and I'm not going to leave these on the ground at camp or not be able to find them. What else is in here? Okay. This is my Z seat. So I probably wouldn't need a sit pad, but when you have a frameless pack, you put this along the back, right where it's going along your back, and it provides some structure. In a dual purpose, I will also use this as my ground pad underneath my hammock. So when I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I can just stand on this pad and I won't get my feet dirty and pee off the edge. And hopefully pee far enough so I don't get it on this. Okay, this is my electronics bag, again made out of that Ultra 200 fabric. Inside my electronics bag are, hey, electronics. No. Okay, so it's my Nitecore NU25 rechargeable headlamp. I've got 2 of them. I love them. Light. Get that? Light. See what I did there? Rechargeable. I just love it. Okay, I have some pills that I take at night. Don't want to get pregnant or anything. I have this humongous power bank. This is probably more than I need. It's an Anker. I think it's 26,000 milliamps. But when I am using my phone, I'm using that speaker, I'm using this Garmin, the headlamp. I just need power. And they say you pack your fears. Here you go. I'm not going to run out of juice. Okay. A bunch of different cords in there. I have some corded earbuds. So if I watch a movie or something, in the very little time that I will have at night, because I'm going to be hiking most of the day, I can watch it on there. It's a little bit more relaxing, even though you're out in the middle of the woods by yourself, to kind of take yourself away from that environment and focus on the movie and not be listening to the bears and all the monsters coming to get you. All right, we've got 3 charger cords. I got a charger cord for my headlamp and for my Garmin. This is for that NU, the Bluetooth speaker, the Knox Gear 39G. This is USB-C. This is a regular USB, and then I have one for my phone. Keep moving. Okay, I do not have a clothing bag this time. I do have some extra clothing, but I don't have the bag. I did cut down on the amount of extra clothing that I have. That t-shirt that I'm wearing, is the only t-shirt that I'm wearing. I debated if I was going to bring extra socks. I am, since they're just the little ones. But one less stuff sack. One of the things that I did where I could lighten up my pack was, other than the food, other than the tripod, is I am bringing 40-degree quilts. With a hammock, you need to have the top quilt, you need to have the underquilt. On that Ozark Trail, I had 20-degree quilts. I'm really pushing it here with the 40-degree quilts. This is what the weather is predicted to be in Rapid City during that time that I'm hiking. The temperature on the trail is usually about 10 degrees cooler than it is in Rapid City. So you can see I'm going to be down probably around 33 degrees, and I have a 40-degree quilt. I've done this before, and I was warm. As long as, I'll show you here, you've seen me before. These are just some polyester long underwear. I wear these as my pants when it's cool out. Now I can wear these underneath those rain pants in my hammock, and it will keep me warm. So if I'm cold in my hammock, I can layer up, and you'll see some other clothes that I'm going to wear here while I'm in my hammock. I do bring an extra pair of just stretchy polyester underwear, and I bring this just in case. These are my only pair of shorts with the built-in underwear. In case I'm having chafing, I take those off at night, I put on some clean underwear, and it helps kind of heal up that chafing at night. Okay, extra pair of just these little socks. I might bring them. I'm going to bring them. We'll see. I have my new alpaca buff. This is nice for keeping me warm in that hammock or while I'm hiking in the morning. Alpaca is better than wool. That's in my last video. Check it out. This is my inflatable pillow that Miyagi made me. Not only is it inflatable, it has a little bit of down in there that keeps me warm and comfortable. Down booties. If I'm going to be cold in my hammock, these will provide and keep my feet warm. So I have the rain pants, the long underwear, the booties to keep my lower body warm. My upper body, you know, I can wear that alpaca hoodie, which is real warm. And while I'm at camp, I've got my down puffy here. It's the Magma 850 puffy from REI. I love it. I've had it for years. It's got all sorts of holes in it. If you buy these things in the spring, if they're still available, they're a lot cheaper than if you buy them in the fall. Okay, my underquilt, again, is from Hammock Gear. It's a 40-degree underquilt. One thing that I didn't point out to you is inside of my ditty bag, I have this extra rubber band on there. So this quilt has these two thick rubber bands on the foot end. And I was a moron on my last trip, and I put the foot end on the head end, and the head end's wider. Laid in my hammock, half hour later, bink, one of these rubber bands broke. But I came prepared because I carry an extra one of these. So if that happens again out on trail, I will have an underquilt because I can replace one of these rubber bands here. So if you have Warbonnet stuff, go on their website and buy like 10 of these rubber bands. They're like $1/4 a piece. And keep them in your gear and keep one on the trail just in case. It weighs like 3 grams. My top quilt here is from Hammock Gear. It is 900 power filled down. It's super light. It has kept me warm. Like I said, it's 40 degree, but it has kept me warm with that other gear on down to about 30 degrees. So I hope that I'll be keeping warm. And those smaller quilts get a lot smaller when you pack them up. And what wasn't, I didn't cover, but it's in that bag. I don't know where they went. Here they are, right here. These are possum down gloves. So possum down is a little bit like alpaca where it keeps you warmer than wool. These things are not very durable, but they keep your hands warm when it's not raining out in the morning. Love to hike with them on. And if it does rain, I can put those rain mittens right over the top of these, and it's super warm. I just love them. One last thing here in my pack is an underquilt protector. This thing is tiny, hardly weighs anything, and I'm not bringing it to protect me from rain, which is kind of what they're designed for, to go under your hammock and your underquilt to protect you from rain. But it'll protect me from wind. And protecting me from wind, it also encapsulates the heat of my body, and it'll keep me about 10 degrees warmer. 30 degrees, 40 degree underquilt protector, I'll be good. That's everything, I hope. If I forgot anything, I'll mention it right here. Hey, if you want to see my trip, which I'm super excited about, you know, I get a thrill out of doing these challenge hikes where I'm killing myself, hiking 25, 30 miles a day. I like that. That may not be for you, but I like doing that. I like being exhausted. It's just a rush for me. If you want to see my hike, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not, but I'll have a video on it, my struggles, everything. And that video will be out in a week. If you want to see that video, I invite you to hit subscribe, punch the bell notification. They'll tell you when I put out videos. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook. If you see me out on the trail, ask for a sticker. Thanks for coming along. We will see you out on the trail.